Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brotherhood Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, William Morris.
I'm your co-host, Eugene Morris.
So yeah, we've on and off for a while had topics to discuss, things not to discuss, just a lot of things going on behind the scenes, making a lot of videos and working on things and coming up with new ways to shake things up. But then we hit some new stuff in terms of news, and not always good, but it makes for an interesting discussion. So apparently, there's these Fine brothers whom you may or may not have heard of, or if you haven't heard of them, you probably have heard of them now, considering all of the backlash going on. Alright, so get this. Now, if you stroll around YouTube, odds are you've probably run into reaction videos. And probably notably some probably by the Fine brothers, who do the famous kids react to such and such, elders react to such and stuff. Teens react to such and such. Famous for pretty much those things, where they'll take these little toddler children from ages 10 and down and show them an NES or a Game Boy and let the kids play it for a few minutes and then have them talk about what they thought about it. Or having teenagers play The Legend of Zelda on the Super Nintendo, and the teenagers say, "Oh wow, I've never heard of Zelda," which you're like, "Oh, shut up, yes you have." Like, I don't care what teenager you are, you've heard of Zelda.
Right. I mean, it was fine when it was like the little kids, because, oh, that's cute, but, oh, it's a Game Boy or a Nintendo. But yeah, if you're a teenager, you know what Zelda is. Come on.
Don't act stupid. That stuff is relevant today. Like, please. And then you have like the elders, like they'll show these old people like 60 and above, like a trailer from Batman versus Superman, and have their thoughts on it, and maybe even ask them like, who do you think would win in a fight? To which all of them pretty much said Superman, because back when they were young, they knew Superman to be the best.
The same thing my dad said. Like, well, I gotta go with Superman because he's the one with all the powers.
Exactly, like, case in point.
Right.
It's that simple. So yeah, the Fine brothers would do videos like this. They'd rarely, if ever, never appear on camera. They would only appear as voices behind the scenes, at being the ones to ask the kids questions, while they would either take videos from, as they would just tape the kids, tape the elders, tape the teens. So basically, these kids, teens, and elders are the stars, whereas the Fine brothers pretty much do nothing but just maybe be the guys that ask questions in the back.
Ray William Johnson?
More or less, but at least Ray William Johnson was on the camera, and he was doing some funny stuff on the side. So
he wrote some jokes. So yeah,
so you could claim that he was still his own character.
Right. Equals 3.
Yeah, he was still his own character.
Right, exactly.
Like,
these guys were so incognito, Bill. I didn't even know who the Fine brothers were until this whole thing kind of broke out. I'm like, oh, so they're the ones that did that whole reaction things. Because you're right. The stars of the videos aren't the Fine brothers. It's the elders or the teens or the kids who are reacting to it.
Yeah. And I knew of them, but I'm not particularly one to watch the viral status quo videos. Like, I don't watch cat videos. I don't watch a lot of this stuff. Like, it's cool, but it's not particularly my thing. Mm-hmm. But I understand it, and I understand why people like it. It's a good time killer.
Right.
And ultimately, I guess that's what people like, time killers.
As far as reaction videos go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and people like to watch reactions. Like, I can dig it. Like, yeah, I like to watch certain reactions. Like, if it was something that I particularly liked, like maybe people seeing Goku get killed by Superman. Like, I like to see. I like to feed off the saltiness of the tears. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of fun.
The first time I really got into reaction videos was when the trailers for Man of Steel started coming up, and I was so excited for that movie, and so it was really cool to see other people getting really excited for it. And since then, it just kind of blew up from then on. And, I would love watching the mashup ones where you see multiple reactors to videos. So, yeah, it's I don't know, it's just kind of fun. It's like watching it with friends, it's just like watching it with or people who share the same tastes, and when you see something happens and they get excited, you get excited. Although you seem to be a little more cynical about it. I guess whenever you see someone get really excited, you automatically think that they're putting on a show or putting on an actor. That's not authentic.
Well, a lot of the time it isn't. Like, for some people it is, and you tend to know who those people are, because if they're usually always like that, where they can get excited about something, that's good. And it's genuine. But there's a lot of people who you can definitely tell, and it's kind of known that it's clear they're faking it. I guess the most notable and probably the most popular is definitely, without a doubt, PewDiePie.
I guess you can say that even before that, reaction videos kind of started with. Well, I don't know where it started, but another one that really helped it out or got real popular is when the Slender stuff happened.
Reactions,
because that's basically just reaction videos.
well, reactions and reaction videos or reaction in anything had existed.
Yeah, long
for
before
decades.
then.
For
right,
for
for
decades,
decades,
if not centuries.
Right,
Like,
and just nowadays. Sorry, it was just nowadays. It's just you now have people getting super popular and super rich off of it, which is just so crazy how it really has become now the new Let's Play. Like, I guess it's always been around, but like over the past couple of years now, it's really started to blow up.
Yeah, because reactions, they've existed even in text or in paper. Like
Right.
back when there weren't videos, back when you were maybe reviewing movies from the 40s, like their reactions would be in written form. Like, this has always existed. React has always been a word. It's always been part of human nature. We react. We're people. We all react. But then, apparently the Fine Brothers, having not always have done this, apparently the reaction thing is only they started doing within the past few years, because their channel had existed for, I guess, a long period of time, but they went on a huge hiatus after having not done anything, but then came back and then started doing this. So they really didn't start off doing reaction videos. It's just something that they kind of adopted and molded it into.
Right.
Like, they merely adopted it, and whereas other people were born into it, they were molded by it. And
Well, speaking on our own personal history, we did do a few reaction videos to the death battles because it's just something that I wanted to try out, and it was fun, but unfortunately we kind of. I guess we didn't want we didn't want our
I should have
video
expected the kind of feedback you
Right.
get, because with the reaction, good or bad, like, you're always gonna get the side that agrees with you, but you're also gonna draw in the other side that's like, your character sucks.
and I guess we didn't want our channel to become a reaction channel. That's not
like,
what
I didn't
want
to bring in that audience,
you know?
because
Right.
we already have an established group of fans and community who know what we do and expect us to do what we do.
I'm sorry, bro. It's funny because Andre, aka Black Nerd Comedy, he did a couple of reactions. They did a reaction to the Turtles Mutants in Manhattan, and he said, "Don't worry, this is not becoming a reaction channel. This is this is something that came up I wanted to do." But so yeah, it's kind of the same thing. We just didn't want to, we know what we do, we know what we are. We just want to.
And there might even be more
dab it to
reactions
it.
down the line, but like, but it's usually only a spur of the moment kind of thing with something that we generally like. But yeah, that just goes to show that reactions have always existed.
Right.
Now, apparently, the Fine Brothers, maybe along the lines in their career, probably got a little pig-headed. And it started to show, because if not directly, they were making very subtle nuances that kind of were showing their colors a little bit. Like, there were some images and being taken showing some of their tweets that they've made, where I guess Ellen
DeGeneres.
DeGeneres,
Yes.
where apparently she had kind of did this thing where kids reacted to something that she apparently had, and then they made a comment on Twitter saying that it's a shame that Ellen didn't give us a shout out because of the reaction and stuff, kind of making a statement like, what are you trying to say? Why should she give you a shout out for this?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and apparently it was also known that the Fine Brothers had eventually tried to copyright claim the word react, so that if you were ever to use the word react, they'd be able to claim that.
Now they released a video explaining what was called React Around the World or something.
Yeah,
What,
they were starting a new website, and I guess it was supposed to be like a new form of YouTube, which was basically just for React videos, and explaining that apparently they were going to create an all-new community where anybody who does reaction videos can move their reaction videos and move all of their new reactions to be made to that website, where it would be safe for them to come together as a community and not have to worry about the copyrights that the Fine Brothers might have been initiating. And they can have them uploaded to this new React World website where the Fine Brothers can get the revenue off of your reactions and you will probably get absolutely nothing in return. Probably. And yeah,
Seriously?
that's pretty much what it boiled down to. And people caught on pretty quick that there's something really shady and fishy about all of this. Because there's no need for it. Like, they're really...
So
they didn't outright tell you this, but they were wording it in ways that you, even when you're hearing them talk about it, you can kind of make the conclusion yourself, like, why is this necessary?
So basically, they were trying to corner the market on reaction videos.
Exactly. They were trying to capitalize on reactions. And
so I'm trying to get into the mindset of what they were thinking. That they were trying. So the point of this is what they were trying to trademark the word react, or or at least the essence of what a reaction video is. Make this new website, force people to come to this website,
maybe
to do their reactions there, and then they would get all the money.
Pretty much. Because or another way you could look at it is because now that you kind of mentioned earlier, reactions have kind of become such a huge deal now. They're becoming as big as Let's Plays, that everybody's doing it, that maybe they were afraid that they were going to become like a dime a dozen, like lost in the field of reactions that are being made, that they thought they would capitalize on it by making a big website that they would be publicly known as owning, so that they'd be known as the guys who probably started the fad of reactions, which is beyond ignorant, arrogant, and just all in around not true.
So this is kind of like if PewDiePie tried to trademark the words Let's Play and made a website, tried to make all the Let's Players, like Vash and all those other guys, come to his website to do their Let's Plays, but but because it's trademarked under his name, all the monetary would go to him.
Yeah, and that would be like if you tried to make a Let's Play on YouTube and it was titled Let's Play, you would get copyright struck or claimed, and it would be probably by PewDiePie Productions claims this because of Let's Play. Let's Play reasons.
So it's kind of like what they were trying to do.
Yeah, so that would be like you and I, like if we decided to copyright the word review or video game reviews, like we owned it. like
right.
We don't own the genre.
Right.
We can't own this. It can't be. It's public domain stuff. You can't. It's the same thing with trying to copyright the word candy like the Candy Crush people did, and somehow I think they did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the backlash was unbelievably cruel, and probably rightfully so. Just to be knocked down a peg and just to show that just because you're big and popular doesn't mean you can get away with doing shady things. And maybe if we were to give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe they weren't ultimately thinking they were shady about it. Maybe they thought that they were perfectly justified in why they were doing it. Still wrong.
I've heard they lost a ton of subscribers.
They're still losing subscribers as we're making this podcast. They even did a follow-up video, which was a little apology video, and it wasn't so much of saying, I'm sorry because we did this, but it was saying, we're sorry you misunderstood.
They're trying to do damage control.
Oh, definitely. And it's, again, backlashing. Like, there's no sweeping this under the rug.
Two things about this whole thing. One, when you're on YouTube and you make it big, your popularity is based solely on other YouTubers. That's where you get your income from, because people watching your stuff. And as quickly as you can get big, just like that, it can be taken away. It's very fickle. And if you let your ego get away from you, that's what's going to happen. Because a lot of these guys, I think, are young people who, don't really understand that, in this world, it's easy come, easy go. And if you get that pig-headed, all this fame and all this fortune you get can be taken away from you at the snap of a finger. The second thing is this really kind of shows you how jacked up the copyright situation is on YouTube or in the internet in general for in America, because It's so
everything is such a gray area.
it's basically nothing but gray. You know, it's so hard to get, you know,
Like, where's the line here in terms of
right.
what's fair use, what's public domain, what's okay to use, what's not. Everything
We
is
get
everything is
we
so gray with corners that you
we get
can.
this all the time whenever we wherever we use a song and it doesn't get copyrighted, but then something else gets copyrighted.
Yeah, like even now, I got copyright today for something that we did, or yeah, for like remember, yeah, when we were playing Pokemon Blue, the
Yeah.
live stream, yeah, that got claimed by a company that I have no idea what it was. It
Yeah,
wasn't,
that's another thing too. Right.
yeah, like it wasn't Nintendo, but it was like I guess something for music. Like,
Well, at least they just copyrighted it. I mean, the worst thing that ever happened to us is when what happens to that when what was to the Tales of Retrospective when this
Victor
company
Entertainment Group.
not only copyrighted us but hit us with a strike
Yeah, because
that
I
damaged our
tried to
channel.
negotiate with them. I sent
Right.
them a response saying, "Can we work this out? Can we come up with something as to why I can't use this? I'm clearly using it under the fair use guideline," and they didn't respond to me with a note or any sort of word. Instead, they're just copyright claim and copyright strike while we're at it.
Yeah, and when that happened a couple years ago, when the whole copyright thing went down, then suddenly you had third-party companies coming in left and right and claiming stuff that they did not own. We even had people getting their own things that they created, copyrighted from other by other third-party companies, and it was a real mess. And it was something that YouTube had to took a long time to clear up, and so and it's still a major problem until we get some sort of clear set rules. It's just something that we just have to deal with. YouTube is basically a sharing thing. It's basically what it is. You're sharing footage from other sources most of the time to put together videos, whether it's video game footage or music, and that's all fine and good. When you add the monetary thing to it, though, that's when it gets a little cloudy. Because okay, what's copyright? What's transformative?
Who's
You
losing
know,
money? Who's gaining
who's
money?
who's gaining money? Is this okay?
Who's got more power?
Right. It's it, it's a, I don't have a clear answer for it because
Nobody does.
It's such a new medium.
In
I
fact,
really
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
gotten so bad that Channel Awesome with the Nostalgia Critic, like, yeah, they got a copyright strike 3 weeks ago, and they're not getting paid for anything anymore. So yeah, Nostalgia Critic is now not making any money,
Oh shoot.
and he's in trouble. And like it got so bad. Like he tried to contact YouTube, and nobody's working. There's nobody to contact. It's all automated. There's nobody. He doesn't know how to get a hold of anybody. He's contacting his managers. Like nobody is keeping track of anything. It's all done by machine. It's all automated. And for 3 straight weeks, he has not been getting a single response from any YouTube management because, as far as goes, there just might not be any.
Well, what got claimed?
I'm not sure what it was. I know that, and he actually made a video talking about it 3 weeks later, which was just a few days ago, actually. By now, that talking about how like everything is now in trouble. Like quite a few very popular, very big channels have gotten their accounts flat out deleted or gotten copyright strike to the point that they can't make money, and he's one of them. Like, so now they're pretty much out of a job until they can hopefully find some way to contact somebody who is working on or at YouTube and see what's going on here, because apparently, like, even though the YouTube service guideline says that if you give us a letter somehow, I don't know who the hell you can contact or even where you can contact, because I've looked all around YouTube when I was having trouble. I can't find a single contact number or a single contact email, so I don't know what the hell you're supposed to even look for. And it says, we'll get back to you in 1 business day. 3 weeks later, still nothing. And this is Doug Walker trying to even contact his managers. Like, he'll get a hold of his managers, and then the managers will try to get a hold of somebody from YouTube. They can't either. Like, who works here? Does anybody?
It's so shady, and yeah, that's wow. This is the first time I heard about it. I've seen the video. I just kind of looked up YouTube, so I guess this video is like, "What the hell, YouTube?" So I guess it's showing that the monetization is gone now. Well, shoot, that's basically they're out of business. I mean, if they can't make money, I mean, this is their job.
Yeah, and that's what he
You
said. And
know.
like that's why the videos that they've currently been uploading have only been 15 minutes because they can't be any longer, and they're not making any money off of them. Like, they're basically all working for free now.
Well, I know a lot of people will say, well, you know what they need to do? They need to get a real job. Yeah. Well, it's a real scary thing, this whole thing, because right, it's so new, and you're right, there's no real guidelines, and the fact that no one is stepping up, that no one knows what to do, no one knows who to contact, and meanwhile you're screwed. You can't make a living.
It's kind of like the Patriots in a way from Metal Gear Solid. Like there really are no people. It's just a bunch of proxies.
Yes, it's basically what it is now. Because who do you contact?
Is there anyone to contact?
Is there anyone to contact?
Like,
The answer is
or is it
no.
all just in the system?
Right.
So yeah, the Fine Brothers, they made a big gamble. It blew up in their face, and they are paying the ultimate price. Will they gain their following back? Who knows? I mean, it's possible. A lot of their following are kids.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that they're done, because, it might be drama for a while.
And of course, this drama will never leave. Like, because people, when you're famous, internet famous, or celebrity famous, when you do something wrong, you're gonna be remembered for it, no matter what.
That's true.
Like, this is gonna.
There are a lot of people who are very vindictive about it.
Yeah, this is gonna follow your career forever, and they're gonna always remember. Remember when these guys tried to do this,
Right.
or it'll be in some Watch Mojo top video, like the top 10 YouTube scandalous acts, like the Fine Brothers when they tried to claim React. like
Right.
This will always be remembered as some of the shadiest thing YouTubers or celebrity people have ever done. It's gonna follow them forever in their career now.
That doesn't mean they won't rebound.
That doesn't mean they can't bounce back and regain their following. Britney Spears did it.
Right.
So yeah, like that doesn't mean they're gonna lose all their following. That doesn't mean the following that they've lost won't come back. Maybe they will. Some will, but a lot of them won't. Some will. But that's just how it goes. Like, will they learn from it? Probably, maybe. I mean, usually if you make a big mistake and you get caught like this, the last thing you want to do is tread the ground again.
Right.
But ultimately, that's what it comes down to. So,
Such is life in YouTube. I mean, it's a new scary frontier. There's just no boundaries or no rules or anything like that. So when you decide to make this your living, that's the game you have to play.
yeah, and unfortunately, it's really hard to tell what the rules are, if there are any.
If there
The
are.
rules are go for it if you think you can get away with it. I guess.
Yeah, that's all you can really say.
Yeah, go for it unless you go for it if you think you can get away with it. If you can't, well, oh well.
It's the Wild West all over again.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what the internet is now. It's pretty much the Wild West. If you can get away with it, go for it.